It's Neca's real talk from a real place. It's Neca's real talk from a real place. What's up, my good people? It is so good to see. Well, I always say that. It's so good that y'all can see me. That's how I'm gonna have to put that in there because I'm telling you, I say that all the time, and I be like, that's not what was meant. Okay. Okay, all right. Welcome to Nika's Real Talk from a Real Place. It's your girl Nika. What's up, my good people? So anyway, if y'all wondering why my lips are popping the way they are, let me show y'all. Here, I got the glitter lip kit. Okay, get y'all some. Get that little sparkle, honey. See, when I come in the light, you really see that sparkle or whatever. It's good. So I kind of gave myself a treat. So basically, I had surgery last week. So I wanted to treat myself and do something nice for myself. And glitter always makes me happy. If I can shine, baby, that's all that matters. Because I'm not really I don't really wear makeup or anything like that. Like, I'll get some makeup for special events. I get my face slayed, honey, okay? To the gods. With a legit, not legit. That's a term to use. I don't wanna get struck down on my makeup or my makeup style looking tacky because I said something crazy. But but yeah, so I normally will get give me some nice little stuff, especially for my birthday. Like, I go all out. I get my cousin to do my makeup for me, and I just be looking real spectacular, honey. Real cute, okay? Then I'm up here looking like I'm a DJ for the day, like, you know, all that. Because I do be DJing on my personal time. For myself. I do it for myself. I don't do it for nobody else. Because if people hear my playlist, they be like, hey, she got it. Okay, I'm feeling it. That's that. But anyway, today podcast is about growing up in the hood. Okay. Growing up in the hood, baby, let me tell you something right now. It ain't for the faint at heart. Let me tell you that right now. It is not for the faint at heart. So if you gonna faint, yeah, I guarantee you, growing up in the hood is not for you. Okay. And even though, the funny thing about that, like, even though, like, I grew up in the hood, lived through the hood, all that stuff, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm like this preppy girl. Like, I got this professional, I got that ratchet, I give you all that. I give you all those vibes, I'm real bougie. My friends call me bougie. They be like, yeah, you real bougie. And I'm okay with that. I didn't grow up in the hood, but now I'm bougie. Okay, I'm a picky eater. People be like, nobody likes to invite me to their parties because I do too much. I be like, what y'all got to eat? And I'm one of those people. So if you having a party, don't invite me because I'm definitely going to interrogate what's going on with the food. Like, that's serious for me. Me eating, that's that tourist thing I do. Like, we like to eat our food. And it has to be happy food because food makes you happy. But it has to be stuff I like. If it's not making me happy, I don't know. So again, that's that. So anyway, growing up in the hood, I'm from Chicago. I grew up in Westside of Chicago, and in the Austin community. Matter of fact, I can't even tell you like all the communities I grew up in because basically it's a lot of different communities. I mean, we done stayed all over probably the whole west side of Chicago. Baby, there is no side that you can tell me like, oh, I stayed by such and such. I'll be like, we stayed over there. Then somebody else, we stayed over there. And we stayed over there. And we stayed, my mother is a mover, baby. Like, when I say mover and a shaker, mover and a shaker. Okay, we didn't move something everywhere. So there, I can't really even say, like, I grew up majority of the time, like, in the Austin community, but we stay in other communities as well. So I'm not just going to sit there and say, like, I just grew up in the Austin community because I grew up somewhere everywhere on the west side. When you think about the West Side, you think about Neca, okay? West Side of Chicago, Neca. Don't come for me. I mean, I got some friends that they be like the South Side, all that. I mean, y'all do y'all. If that's y'all turf, y'all claim y'all set. Okay, I'ma claim mine. Okay, don't come for the West Side. Don't put up no post talking about no West Side stuff because then I'ma chime in because I'm a West Sider. I'ma defend my land. But this just a disclaimer too. Like everything I talk about and growing up in the hood is no offense to no one, or I'm not trying to put nobody down, or I'm just telling my truths and how I grew up. Okay, because I'm finding out a lot of times, especially with before I get into it, don't forget Journal to Victory, the Purple Book. Make sure you get that. It's on Amazon. You can DM me on Coach Neca. All right, and also Black Girls Are Pretty Sweet, Sweet Dreams. Okay. Forgot to promote my books, honey. Because we is authors around here. Y'all tell y'all people to call my people to know my people. And bad book. Make a bad book when y'all call them. Okay. But yeah, just like I was saying, reverting back to the conversation, a lot of times when you tell your truths on what happened to you, your side of the story, what kind of went on, a lot of times people want to think like you're trying to put them down or you're trying to, talk about them being this type of person. But I'm going to tell you right now, anything I ever talk about, whether it's my book, whether it's on my podcast or whatever, if I'm just talking about life experience in general, I'm just talking about just that. I'm not trying to basically say to someone like, oh, this person was that, and my life is my life. I lived it. I went through it. And it is what it is. And at the end of the day, like, I know God brought me through all of that. So, boom, let's go back to the West Side. so growing up in the hood, it had its perks, baby, because I remember from the barbecues and just people, stepping. West Side, we love to step. We love to step. Now, I ain't no full-blown stepper like my mom and my uncle, because they can get down, baby, like they can cut the wood. Like, chugga, 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 chugga. But me, like, I could give you a little, ooh, like, blowing, ooh, decisions, oh, head on, collision, all that. See, I can give you a little one to the, ooh, I feel it. I love music. And that's another thing, like, growing up on the West Side, like, we was music connoisseurs. Like, baby, I remember sitting there, like, a lot of people tell me, like, girl, you loud. That's a West Side thing, okay? So if you ever run into me, like, and you just trying to figure out, like, why I'm so loud, I grew up on the West Side. Because, like, I remember, like, sitting on a porch, chilling, listening to your music, your little jukebox or whatever, and just, talking, just kicking it. Like, life was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just chilled and just, that was the thing, Then you had those people that was on some other stuff. You had the people want to start fights, want to do this, want to do that. I mean, I'm not that person. Like, I don't start fights or anything like that, but you not gonna run up on me. Don't run up on me. Run up, get done up, okay? For real. That's that West Side, and that's when the West Side had came out. If you ever run up on me like on some crazy stuff, like, you'll see the West Side. It'll come up. Like, as much as people call me bourgeois, they gonna see the other side. The other side. So that's one of the things, like, I love. Like, I remember, growing up with, like, you hear the ice cream truck, all that. Like, for me, those times were like amazing times to be like, okay, everybody got these water parks and the raging waves and all that. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful thing in Illinois. I'm glad about it. But baby, we ain't have all that. Like, The most we'll have is like the fire hydrant. Somebody then open up that fire hydrant and figure out how to cut it on. Boom. They're going to put that 2x4 in front of it, and you're going to run through the streets and pray that a car don't hit you. Like, that was life. That was living, you know. Um, Nowadays, I just noticed, like, kids, they stuck to their phones all the time. We didn't have all of that. Like, yeah, some of my friends had beepers. Okay, I don't know why they need those beepers and why people is paging them 911. I mean, it might have been call girls. I don't know. But that was something that, you know, we didn't just like stick. It wasn't all about phones and technology. It was all about, you know, being more proactive and talking and being there and being present in the moment. Like I said, from barbecues, you smell the barbecue, you can hear the summertime, all that. You get all that on the west side, baby. Like, it was amazing growing up. But then, you know, it did have its other side, not so good sides, where, you know, some gang wars going on, people shooting, people killing, you know. I ain't gonna say I know who was doing that because I ain't got nothing to do with none, okay? And I'm not going back talking to no police, none of that. I don't do all that. That ain't me. I just live my life. Praise the Lord. God, praise the Lord. I'm a new creature. But it was just a lot of different things that you can take from growing up. What I took from growing up in the hood, you know, like I had people that, you know, I kicked it with on a regular. Whether you get out of school, you have your little friend, you go to their house and they come to your house or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you right now, people at my house, baby, our house was always jam packed. Okay, always jam packed. My grandmother had, at the time, I think it was 19 grandchildren. She had 8 kids and 19 grandchildren. And baby, they all stayed in the house with her. Okay, and that was my grandmother. Like, she took us all on, whether the mother was going through whatever they was going through. She's like, hey, I'm the grandma. I got y'all back. Y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. I got you 100. And that lady was amazing. Like I said, like a lot of times, you just had to watch your surroundings a lot of times because, yeah, it was all fun and games and kids playing games and playing tic-tac-toe, Mr. Freeze, all that good stuff. Like, that was amazing, right? But at the end of the day, like, you really had to, like, figure out, like, how much survive. Like, we used to be able to go to the store on our own. We used to be able to, you know, do different things on our own. But we still have to watch our backs because you dealt with the crime. You know, the crime still existed even in those times. Like, yeah, it was a little bit more trustworthy when you go in different places, but again, you still have to watch your back because people were getting killed. People were getting popped off, and it was consistent. Either you was getting shot at, you got shot at, you got killed, or you was in jail. And that was like, that almost became like the norm, you know, because like you just, you know, what happened to such and such? Oh, they went to jail or whatever. Oh, what happened to this person? Oh, they got shot yesterday. You know, that became a norm, and a lot of times, you know, I did develop post traumatic stress disorder because a lot of times, like, you know, you dealing with shootings, you dealing with drive-bys, you're dealing with different stuff that's not normal for other people. So, with that being said, you know, going through that is a lot. It's traumatizing, right? And you will think like, oh, I'm just supposed to be okay with life. I'm not okay. You know, I had to go through that. I had to experience that. Yes, we had amazing times, but then I also had to deal with the trauma of growing up in the hood, growing up on the west side of Chicago, baby. Like, it wasn't no joke. It was not, like I say, it was not for the faint of heart. If you was a weak person, you couldn't make it. You weren't gonna be successful on that west side, baby. Cause baby, that west side was something else. Okay? It was good a lot of times, you know. But I found that when you find your circle, you find your people that you rock with or you talk to, you get down with. You, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with this person. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And that's how you survived a lot of times on the West Side. Like you always had that support person. But then you could be with some people that you thought was cool, and there'd be snakes. Snakes on the pane. Do you see them on the line? They would be there, and so that's why for me, like I had to really like figure out because I had got to the point that I had stopped hanging with females. Oh my goodness, the females. Like even to this day, like I talk to females. I have female friends. Don't get me wrong, but they're very few, and I'll tell you why. Because growing up, baby, if you had them female friends that was messy.com, you would go be gone for 2 days and come back to your little circle and baby your name and all kinds of stuff. I used to be like, what is wrong with this? These people are sick in the head. Oh, she said this, and this what really used to get me. People would say you did this or you did that, only because they didn't want to say it, but they'll put somebody else's name to see how it's gonna go back and how it's gonna reflect. You don't do that. That's nasty. You're trying to get somebody head busted to the white meat. Okay? So I experienced that a lot growing up. Like girls would keep my names and stuff like, oh, Shanika said this, and I'd be like, what? So what I started doing to avoid that negativity, I stopped being with a lot of people, and I actually stopped hanging with females, and I more so started hanging with males. Because I was kind of like, shorty won't be a thug, said won't be. I turned into that because I was just like, I'm not gonna keep on having my name and stuff on the regular just because people feel like saying my name for fun. Like, no, it has to be a better way. So that's when I decided to start hanging out with guys versus girls. I mean, of course, when you're hanging out with guys, girls gonna say, "Oh, she must be sleeping with them." It wasn't even that all the time. It was just the point of I want to escape that negativity. I want to escape all of that because again, growing up, it's a lot of stuff I went through. I went through a lot of trauma. I went through being, molested. I've been through, physical abuse. And not to say that it was my mother or anything like that, but it was somebody in my family. And with all of that being said, I had to go through that, right? But that was life on the West Side. But how did I get through those traumas? How did I get through those? I prayed. I prayed. I formed a relationship with God because that was the thing. But like I said, if I look back on everything, like yeah, I had some negative experiences. But did I let those negative experiences like basically make me into like this bad person? No. I took those experiences as like, okay, there's a reason for everything. You go through everything for a reason. God is saying something to you and you had to figure it out. So I had to figure out like, what is this all about? What is my purpose in this? Because that was more so what I was facing. But growing up like that and all the traumas that I did experience, it did lead me to being suicidal growing up. Because I was just like, I'm tired. I was tired. I wanted to relieve, didn't understand how to get past it. But overall, when I look back at my childhood now, I can actually say like I could think about those awesome things that I did. I could think about, the amazing connections that I had, um how right now to this day, those different people that I connected with, those resources that I connected with then, how they are playing a big role in my life now. But I love the West Side. I would not. I would change some things, and the things I would change is, of course, would be the trauma parts that I experienced. Because who wants to live with trauma? Trauma is not something that you just wake up and say, "Hey, I want me a bag of trauma today." No, it's something that you go through, and I didn't understand it fully until now, the age I am now. I can actually say, "Wow, growing up in the hood made me stronger. It made me wiser. It made me think on a lot of different things. It prepared me for life. It prepared me for people, how to deal with messy people. Okay. So that's how I reflect on it now. But when I went through that stuff and probably just a little bit past it, I I was hurting. I was hurting. I was hurting. Because I'm just like, why do I have to go through this? Why did I have to, you know, experience this? I didn't understand it then. And of course, any kid, any teenager, any young adult don't understand some of the stuff they go through. I see people now that even just want to make stuff in their life. They want to make somebody be this person. They want to be depressed. Like, come on now, stop it. So I reflect back, not so much on the negative portions, but it does cause me to react in certain ways now. So I am trying to be a little bit more careful on how I take situations in. Um, so I'm not just like going, like right now. I know a lot of times, with the mental health assessments that I do on people on a continuous basis, I I try to reflect on how the person feels, why they feel the way they feel, why was that said that way. Okay. My husband is like a sound mind person. Like he'll definitely like give feedback on stuff, and I'll be like, that makes a lot of sense. So he's like my happy medium. I'm trying to keep my lip gloss going, y'all. Trying to make it still shine. But and that's what you need in your life. Like I said, growing up in the hood, it had its positive moments, it had its negative moments. And I had some friends, like I tell you, that I shouldn't even call them friends. They should really be enemies. But I mean, I grew up with one girl. That child was a hot mess. Kept up mess. Kept up stuff all the time, baby. But that was her. That was her thing. That's what she did. Okay. And even to this day, like I tell her, like, you messy.com. Sit your butt down somewhere. You so wild for all that. But that's her personality. That's who she is. But again, you learn to live with people. You learn to deal with people. You learn to accept them for who they are. Your experience is not just experiences because, oh, it's something that's put before you. It's something that's put before you to make you into a better person. Okay? And that's how I experienced life growing up in the hood. Like, what was the purpose of that? Is it because my mother, and my father went through what they went through? Like my mother and dad, they weren't together when I was younger, growing up. My father was away a lot of times. I ain't gonna go into detail because that's his business. My mom, she took care of me and my brothers, and she was always consistently there. Um, it was different things that she went through as well. That's her business. Cause like I said, I don't be trying to make nobody into this person. But I went through a lot of different stuff, from in the neighborhoods or in the house with people are on drugs. You experience that in your neighborhood. You're seeing friends that have to deal with that. Whether it be their mothers on their prostitutes, whatever. You learn to get through that stuff because at the time you don't understand, why am I going through this? Because there's a lot of why questions, right? But even in the midst of those why questions, like I always remember grandma would say, "Did you ever ask God why?" and I, to this day, I try not to ask God why, because grandma just said, "Don't you ask God why?" And you understood what she said, and that's just it. You don't never go, "Grandma, why I can't ask God why?" Mm-mm. None of that, baby. None of that. Okay, so that was just my life, and that is how I perceive growing up in the hood. Like I said, what didn't kill me made me stronger, and it's been some times I've been in the midst of drive-by shootings, and and almost lost my life. But to God be the glory. I'm here to tell y'all, like, God is amazing. God loves me. Um, I'll never forget one time being in a situation where, you know, a baby got killed, and I was just there 5 minutes before that previous. And my heart, even to this day, I think about that baby, and I be like, God, that's. I wish that baby didn't get killed. I really wish that. I wish that baby did not get hurt. And I thank God that I didn't get hurt, but I didn't want that baby to get hurt either. So it's so many different pains, so many different things that I can elaborate on. But at the end of the day, it made me a stronger person. It made me a stronger person. I'm really grateful um, of all my experiences. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God. I know that He loves me because He took me through that. Because I grew up on the west side. Let me see if I can throw my W. Throw up the W. I am so grateful. Like, people don't understand. It was definitely something. I mean, like I said, we had the moon anointing. We had what other stuff? Super Giant. That was the grocery stores. What are some place? We used to have like little clubs. When I was a teenager, we used to go to was a club in the mix. Baby, I'm telling my age now, honey. We had some times. We had some times, and I really, really, really can just go back and reflect and be like, wow, I was cutting up, juke, juke, all that footwork, all that. But as I really reflect and I really think and I process all of it, like, it's bittersweet, you know. It's bittersweet to grow up on the west side of Chicago. Like, it it was something. It was something. It was definitely something. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot, and I'm grateful to be here to tell y'all. That's how I end that. Because God is amazing. God is amazing. The stuff, I mean, all the stuff I've been through, like, I'm truly grateful. Whether it be my cousins peeing in the bed with their little stinky stuff. But people don't understand. So when I went to school and stuff, I found out, like, why do children, urinate in the bed? It's trauma. It's trauma. It's trauma. So people don't understand until you actually been through what I've been through and actually seen what I've seen and done what I've done in life. And to be at this place, like, God is great. God is great. And God did it. He did it all. He brought me through it all. Even though I still have things I go through in this life now, God is still bringing me through it. And I'm so grateful. So all my experiences is just that. So growing up in the hood, where the Negroes are sometimes no good, is something that I can really lavish on. Like I said, when I think about the West Side, I want to think about stepping. I want to think about footworking. I want to think about ice cream truck. I want to think about playing red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, all that. Just because those are the memories that I hold fun. And like me, I'm really stuck like in the 90s. Like, when it comes to the 90s stuff, like, I could sit and watch 90s movies all day. Because that's me. But, long story short, short story long, love who you are. Continue to be who you are, no matter where you're from. And if you claim the West Side, baby, I'm rocking with you. Even if you're from the South Side, I'll rock with you a little bit. I'll rock with you a little bit. But I love you all. It's been amazing. And that is it for this segment of Growing Up in the Hood. Y'all enjoy y'all day. And I pray that you all share this with someone else. Share. Like you care. Because it's a good thing to do. Okay. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Love, peace, and just let your soul glow.